Hi guys, this is Michelle Nass. This is Nass. I'm your librarian here at West, and I'm actually in the library today. But I wanted to help you out with finding peer-reviewed journal articles. So first of all, what is a peer-reviewed journal article, right? It is an article that has been submitted to a journal that has a board of reviewers that all look at the same article, and then they decide whether or not it has academic merit and if it adds to the academic conversation. If it passes those two thresholds, then it gets published in the journal. So that's what it is. How do we find them? First, I want to remind you that in Schoology, if you go to courses and then to West Library, which you should all be enrolled in, if you're not enrolled in it for some reason, you might want to scroll. If you look at this, the access code, that's how you're going to get in. You just need to put in that access code. But most of you will be enrolled already. Go to Materials, and then go to Library Headquarters. And under Library Headquarters, you're going to find a red folder that is passwords and logins for remote access to databases. This is going to house all your passwords and logins. And if you scroll down, there's a link that's going to force you to make a copy make a drive copy of your database passwords so that you have it, because you're all remote now, right? So you need your passwords every time you access these databases, which is different than what you've done in the past. So now I'm going to go over to LibGuides. And I'm going to click on West Library Resources because that's where all your databases are. Now, there are a lot of databases in here. Not all of them house peer-reviewed articles, so I want to make sure that you know where to go. The first place I would go is JSTOR. So JSTOR is an academic database, and there's a login right here. So I click on Login, and then please go ahead and put that password in that you'll find on the password sheet. So once I log in. Oh, there we go. Know that JSTOR is almost entirely peer-reviewed journal articles. So if I do my search here, pretty much everything I find is going to be peer-reviewed. The only things that you are going to find that aren't peer-reviewed are book review articles, and those are just not what you need, right? You're going to see that when you get into the article that it's a book review and not a research study that you're looking for. So that's JSTOR. That would be my first stop if I were you. Next stop, I'm going to go back to LibGuides. Let me close this out for you so you have this limited screen. Go to West Library Resources, and I'm going to take you into Gale. Now, Gale has a lot of databases, right? Not all of them are going to have peer-reviewed. Where I want you to start is at high school. Now, this database used to be called Student Resources and Context. So if you're used to hearing that, it's the same database. They just changed the name to high school. When you go here, you're going to be able to search, and Gale houses newspapers, magazines, and academic journals. So when I do my search in Gale, it's going to allow me to pick which area I want to search in, and you want to search in academic journals. I'm going to let that load. I've noticed that Gale's a little bit slow today. So while that's doing this thing, I'm going to pop over to LibGuides and show you the next resource. So if I scroll down and click on EBSCO, this one is new to you. There is a user ID and password. Remember to look at that password sheet that you just found in Schoology and go ahead and sign in. So this shows you EBSCOhost Web. Now what EBSCOhost does is it kind of contains a whole ton of databases, and EBSCOhost Web searches all those databases at once. Then there's High School Search for Power Library and Science Reference Center and Literary Reference Center Plus and AP Newsroom. So the ones that are going to hold academic peer-reviewed journals are Literary Reference Center Plus. You're going to be able to find it in High School Search Explorer, and you're going to be able to find it in the EBSCOhost Web. So I'm going to show you they all kind of look the same as far as their search parameters. So I'm going to get into that high school one for you. This is Explorer. So if I search for mountain climbing, I'm going to perform my search, and then over here on the left-hand side, you're going to see I can limit to scholarly or peer-reviewed journals, and that's what you want to do. Notice I can also change my publication date if I'm looking for something that's more recently published, but that's how you do it within EBSCOhost. So I showed you JSTOR and then EBSCOhost, and it looks like Gale is still loading. So If we're having problems with Gale right now, skip that and move on to JSTOR and EBSCO. But if you get into Gale, make sure you get the password from the site, and then you're going to do your search, and you're just going to do the same thing and limit to academic journals, and that's going to hook you up with those peer-reviewed journals. Guys, as always, if you have any questions, you can email me on mnass, M as in Michelle, N as in Nancy, A as in Albert, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, at dasc.org, and I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. Happy searching, friends.